What is going on, guys? DBG here, and this is going to be a tier list of the best players in NBA 2K19 MyTEAM. So this is going to be the last ever tier list that I do, more than likely for this year. And the reason I'm doing it now is because it is actually crazy how much everything has changed since my last tier list. So for my last tier list, I literally had Diamond AK-47 in S tier. That is how long ago it was. The Diamond AK-47. We also had Michael Jordan Galaxy Opal in S tier. And I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan Galaxy Opal may or may... Actually, no, sorry. He is on this list, but it is signature limited. But he's definitely not going to be in S tier anyway. But yeah, it's gotten to the stage where we've gotten so many cards. In my top 25 cards previously, we had the likes of Penny Hardaway. We had Reggie Lewis. We had signature Brandon Roy. Pink Diamond Dirk. Pink Diamond Jokic. And this is only just over a month since, and the cards have changed so much. So I decided I'm going to make a new one because of how many OP cards 2K have released. So now we are going to go onto the tier list. First of all is Anthony Davis. So Anthony Davis is a speed boosting big, can block shots really well. He's got really nice animations, decent shooter, good defender. I'm going to put him in A tier. Mainly because there are better cards in the game, which I'm going to have to leave for S tier. And also, if your favorite card is not on this list, I'm sorry. These are like 35 unbelievable cards, and I can almost guarantee you I've forgotten somebody. Clyde Drexler, a really good card, don't get me wrong. This is a great card in this game. However, when you're comparing him to the top cards in the game, he's probably going into D tier. No limitless range. He's no better than Brandon Roy, to be honest. He's probably worse than Brandon Roy, which is why he's down D tier. A great card, don't get me wrong, but yeah, just not as good as a lot of the cards going to be rated higher. Because we are going to try and make sure we put someone in every tier as well. Next, we have got Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan, I'm going to put him in A tier. A lot of people are going to say, oh, he's 99 everything, he's in S tier. These cards are almost 99 everything anyway. The fact is that his animations are good, but not exceptional. And also, he's just... like, yeah, sure, he's got limitless range, he's got everything. It's just that there are better cards in the game. And speaking of the better cards, this is one of them right here. We have got Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is going right up into S tier, which is the top tier. I'm sorry, I think I've cut off the very top of S tier on this video. But yeah, Ben Simmons is going into the top tier because, well, he's Ben Simmons. He's got the leaner, he's got a little bit of everything, and is just an absolute beast of a card. Next up, we got Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin is going into C tier. A really good card, yes, but again, outclassed by all the cards that are rated ahead of it. Next, we've got Bob Pettit, base 11, limitless range, going into B tier. He is one of the only limitless range base 11 players in the game, and he may be the only one. When he gets hot, he's almost unguardable. Hakeem Olajuwon, a top probably 4 center in the game, is going into D tier. Apparently he gets speed boost with a shoe and coach, still not as good as the top 4 centers, so that's why I'm putting him there. Yao Ming, the more I use this card, the more I like this card. He is going right now into A tier for me. He can shoot the ball really well, he also has a decent handle. For some reason, he's an unbelievable post player, and he's 7'6". Next up, we've got Carmelo Anthony, super inconsistent. A lot of people would have him in kind of A tier, whereas when he's on his bad days, he's going into F tier, so I'm going to put Carmelo Anthony in D tier. And this is obviously not a D tier player, it's just D tier in terms of the best cards in the game. Next up, we've got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's Galaxy Opal is a card that could easily be an S tier. KD's animations are incredible, but he's going to B tier. Like, he's one of those pink diamonds that are better than most of the Galaxy Opals, and he's a guy I absolutely hate coming up against. David Robinson is going into A tier. I know I would have had him S tier had this been 2 or 3 weeks ago, but there has been so many great cards released since, so I'm going to put him in A tier. Karl Malone, him and Blake Griffin are 1A and 1B in terms of power forwards. Well, actually, no, there's a guy that's equally as good, but they're right up there with the best of them. I'm going to put him in C tier because I think he's very similar to Blake. Next up is Giannis, obviously almost 99 everything, 6'11 with glitchy animations, S tier. Kareem, I'm going to put Kareem in S tier. I know it's a debate who's better, Kareem, David Robinson, or Yao. I just think Kareem's that little bit more versatile. Andrei Kirilenko, his diamond was in S tier in my initial list. His pink diamond is going to A tier on this list, just because of how many great cards have been released since. Pink diamond, Tracy McGrady, limitless range, great animations, great release. He is going into B tier with Kevin Durant. Next, we have got James Worthy. James Worthy, really strong, great dribble moves, great animations. He's got base 11, great jump shot. He is going right here into S tier. Fantastic card, up there with the best in the game, and a lot of people, you can argue he is the best in the game. Next up is Paul George, a guy who I would have had an S tier had this been a couple of weeks ago, but again, a fantastic 3&D guy. He is going into A tier. He just leaves a little bit, actually no, he leaves nothing to be desired. He's just not as good as these four guys. LeBron James Signature Limited, I've used him quite a bit. He is going into A tier. S tier. LeBron is the best Signature Limited card in the game. He's 2 inches bigger. He's got probably a nicer release. His leaner is unbelievable. And yeah, just a fantastic card. Kobe, in my opinion, is the worst of the Signature Limiteds. For some reason, he just shoots worse and plays worse than his ratings would suggest. I think most people that have used him kind of feel the same way. Still a brilliant card, but I can't say he's better than any of these. He's going into B tier. But he'd be like a high B tier. He's better than T-Mac, but I don't think he's as good as any of the cards in the tier ahead of him, so he's going into B tier. Dave Cowens has got base 11, really decent dribble animations. He's a really good shooter, left-handed. B tier. Really, really great card and unbelievable on defense. Now we are on to kind of the second match, which are worst players. In terms of all of these cards, George Gervin is worse than all of them. He is going into... He's not a bad card, but in terms of like the best of the best, George Gervin is going into F tier, which is not saying it's a bad card, but in terms of the best, he'd be on kind of the lower end of those players. Even though if you guys saw some of my squads, he's dropped 40 in multiple games for me. Michael Porter Jr. is going in D tier. Fantastic card, however, again, like I think he's similar standard to that Carmelo Anthony. Derrick Rose going into E tier. 6'3", so I can't really put him higher than that, and he's not as good as someone like a Clyde Drexler. Next up, we've got Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, beta release, but he does have limitless range, good animations. He's going into E tier there with Derrick Rose. Again, he's not as good as any of these cards in D tier, so I can't really justify putting him in there. We have Kevin McHale. The three power forwards are going to be the three cards in C tier right now. Next up, Gilbert Arenas, base 11, super fast release. A slightly better version of Derrick Rose, and when he's given space, he is elite. He is going into D tier. And the exact same with Grant Hill. Hill is an absolutely elite defender. One of the best perimeter defenders in the game, can hit open shots and go to the basket. Walt Frazier is going into Grant Hill going into D tier. Walt Frazier is going into E tier, the same tier as Derrick Rose and Kawhi Leonard. A really good card, yes. He's got base 11, no limitless range, but look, he can't have absolutely everything. We have got Oscar Robertson next, who is going in as a D tier, I'm going to put him in E tier. Sure, he's got limitless range, but his animations still leave a little bit to be desired. Good shooter, and nice in the post, but yeah, I'm going to put him there. And I'm going to put Lonzo in as a D tier player. Very slightly ahead of Oscar Robertson. I know I said in one of my gameplay videos that Oscar Robertson is better than Lonzo, and it's incredibly close, but from using them more, I think Lonzo's a slight bit better. But either way, there's no difference between them. You can't go wrong with either of them, and if Oscar Robertson's cheaper, I advise you go get him. Larry Bird is going in as a C tier player, because even though, in my opinion, he's not the best card in the world, you guys would absolutely kill me if I put him any lower. Do I think he's... I don't even know. I'd be even considering putting Michael Porter Jr. up a tier. Like, that would be probably what I'd be looking at. But, nah, I'll keep Larry Bird in C tier and Porter Jr. in B. And we're going to put Magic Johnson in as D tier. He's got a beta release, so... Like, to get higher than C tier, you can't really have a beta release unless you're Ben Simmons, like. But, now we've got Brandon Roy. A slightly better Clyde Drexler. C tier. Next, we've got Will Chamberlain, the former best center in the game, now not top 5, F tier. And no, he's not an F tier center in terms of the best centers in the game, F tier. Not as good as Hakeem, not as good as any of these guys, probably not even as good as DeAndre Ayton, so I'm kind of surprised he made this list. We have got James Harden, who is going right down here into E tier. A decent but not the best release, and for that reason, he is going in as one of the lower tiers, even though he is a good card. And Hedo Turkoglu is going A tier. I'm not going to quite put Hito in S tier. If this is based on how it is on Play with Friends, which is on Pro difficulty, Hito can literally fade from the halfway line. Got the best leaner in the game, got some of the best dribble animations. He's the only player in the game I can actually dribble effectively with. He's 6'10 demigod, without doubt belongs in A tier. So anyway, that's the video. This is my final tier list for 2K19. This is my opinion, the best cards in the game and how they are rated. Obviously, you guys are all going to think differently, which is perfectly fine. This is my list. This isn't any of your guys' list. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.